mountains, there lived a young monk named Tenzin. The abbots praised him for his devotion and diligence. He rose before dawn, meditated for hours, studied sacred scriptures, and tended the monastery garden with care. Yet for all his outward serenity, Tenzin's mind was a storm. When he sat in silence, thoughts swirled like autumn leaves in the wind. Am I doing this right? What if I never reach enlightenment? What if my thoughts are wrong? What if I'm failing? The more he tried to quiet his mind, the louder it became. He would replay old conversations, regret past choices, worry about the future, and dissect every emotion with exhausting precision. One morning, overwhelmed and weary, Tenzin approached the old master, Venerable Bhante Suman. "Master," he said, his voice trembling, "I cannot stop thinking. I try to be still, but my thoughts never cease. They question everything, even my practice. What am I doing wrong?" Bhante Suman smiled gently, as if he had been waiting for this very question. "Then it is time," he said, "for you to visit the Whispering Forest." The Whispering Forest was known among monks not only for its serene beauty, but also for its mysterious silence. Legend held that it was the site of a great teacher's final meditation, and that even the birds there sang in mindfulness. The old master handed Tenzin a small satchel with rice, a robe, and a single instruction. "Stay in the forest for 7 days. Do not fight your thoughts. Listen to them, watch them, then return." Tenzin bowed and left the monastery, unsure of what he would find. As he stepped into the dense woods, a strange quiet embraced him, not the absence of sound, but the presence of stillness. On the first day, he sat by a stream. Instantly, his mind began its familiar chatter. What if I'm wasting time? What if nothing happens? What if I never come back? Frustration rose within him. But then he remembered, don't fight your thoughts. Watch them. So he did. He watched each thought like a leaf floating down the stream. Some were heavy and sank. Others danced on the surface. He didn't chase them. He let them pass. On the second day, he climbed a hill and looked out across the vast forest canopy. His mind wandered into the past. His childhood, his parents, the moment he chose monastic life. Regret crept in. Did I choose the right path? What if I left something important behind? Again, he remembered, watch them. So he sat, breathing gently, and let the memories pass like clouds across the sky. By the fourth day, something began to shift. The thoughts still came, but they no longer pulled him away. He noticed something he had never seen before. The space between thoughts, the silence that held them. It was like watching waves crash, yet knowing the ocean underneath was always still. He began walking the forest with awareness, feeling the ground beneath his feet, hearing birdsong as if for the first time, tasting each grain of rice with complete presence. And he discovered something profound. When the present moment is full, the mind has nowhere to wander. On the sixth night, as he meditated beneath a great Bodhi tree, a storm struck. Thunder cracked the sky, rain poured, fear returned. I am alone. I could be hurt. What if the tree falls? What if I fail again? Panic welled up in him, but instinctively he turned to his breath. In, out, in, out. The storm raged around him, but inside, something remained still. He saw his thoughts not as truths, but as habits. Habits of fear, judgment, and worry. They were not enemies to fight, but visitors to observe, welcome, and release. At dawn, the rain ceased. Golden light bathed the forest. The storm had passed, outside and within. On the seventh day, Tenzin returned to the monastery. Bhante Suman was waiting. "Well?" asked the master. Tenzin bowed deeply. "I learned that I cannot stop my thoughts from coming, but I can stop following them. I can let them pass. The more I resist them, the louder they become. But if I simply watch them, they lose their power." The old master smiled. "You have discovered what many never do. Overthinking is not a flaw, it is a signal. It shows that we are clinging, resisting, fearing. When we become the observer of thought, we are no longer its prisoner." Tenzin asked softly, "So the mind is like the forest?" "Yes," said the master, "full of whispers. But if you listen deeply, you'll find the silence underneath. That silence is your true home. The mind is a wild forest, filled with voices echoing from the past and fears of the future. But peace is not found by cutting down every tree or silencing every whisper. Peace is found by walking gently, listening deeply, and remembering. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. Overthinking does not mean you are broken. It means you are human. And when you stop fighting your mind and begin to observe it, a door opens, not to control, but to compassion. In the end, stillness is not the absence of thought. It is the presence of understanding. Do like, share, and subscribe.